Hello, Thunder Wizards. So, I have to follow my own teaching, and I'm going to do that right now. So, whenever somebody comes onto my channel, first off, just to let you know, we're going to be talking about two very powerful spiritual practices: lucid dreaming and astral travel. And I put the question on there, which one is better for spiritual powers? And you're going to be surprised at the answer. So we'll get to that in a moment. But I have to tell you, as a teacher, I have to follow my own principles, my own teaching. Whenever somebody comes onto my channel and they want to criticize me or they want to school me or they want to get into some intellectual debate about whatever, when I'm in my highest awareness, which I'm not, sometimes I do get into flame wars and I'm working on that. But when I'm in my highest awareness, what I do is I will say, listen, don't waste your time arguing with me. I'm just some guy on YouTube. Listen, if you know what is the true teaching, and if you have the truth and I'm not telling the truth, instead of arguing with me on some YouTube comment, go write your own books, go teach your own seminars, go make your own videos. Get your truth out there. And the reason I say that is because I learned a long time ago that if something somebody is doing is pissing me off, even if it's coming from pettiness, even if I'm jealous or I'm envious or whatever it is, I've learned that that is a sign I need to be doing whatever that is. I did that years ago when I got into stand-up comedy. And I could have made a career at that, and I didn't want to, and I sabotaged it. I didn't want to do it, but it was because I went to a very famous comedy club, and a bunch of famous comedians were up there, and I was saying I could do better than them. And then I said to myself, well, go prove it. So I did. I went and I did it, and and then my career started to go places, and I said, this is not really what I want, and I didn't follow through with it. And that is where this channel came from. All of my books and everything came, especially the rune teachings, came from, and the celestial qigong, which, by the way, is, again, my most popular service and product. Go up to courses.thunderwizard.com and click on celestial qigong to learn more about it. All that came from me seeing that there was something missing out there. And instead of arguing with people about it and trying to prove myself, I just did it myself. And so today, I was flipping through YouTube, as I am oftentimes when I'm researching or just wasting time. And YouTube threw in front of me this video. It said, how to astral travel in 8 steps. And I thought, that's interesting. Mostly because most of the time when people are talking about astral travel, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I wanted to prove to myself this guy didn't know what he was talking about. And so right away, I could tell this guy had some experience. And he wasn't making things up. He was talking from his experience. But he had some incomplete knowledge. And I'll get into what that was. But basically, what I heard in that video was that he was conflating. If you don't know the difference between confusing and conflating, confusing is when you don't know the difference between something like, saying that this is a glass of water. No, this is glasses for my eyes. That's confusion. Conflating is when there's two different things that are separate and you put them together and they get jumbled up in this salad and you can't tell the difference. And this guy was conflating astral travel with lucid dreaming. Now, he didn't know that because as I listened to him, he was self-taught. He didn't know what lucid dreaming was. He had this idea of what astral travel was, and he had developed a technique, which I can't find any problems with. My problem is this. Remember, everything is an assumption. Everything you do is built on assumption. Everything. If your assumptions are incomplete or conflated or mistaken, then every conclusion you make on top of that will be at best incomplete, or if not outright false. So his assumption was that every time he had an experience that felt real to him, that was in non-waking reality, that to him was astral travel. And that's not the case. And what got me going was in the beginning, he said that every time you dream, you're astral traveling. That's just absolutely, completely false. And I'm sharing this with you guys because this is important to know. Because let me tell you what is the most important thing of everything. Your entire goal for everything in this life is to become conscious. To become conscious. What do I mean by that? I don't mean becoming aware and everything is love and light. To be conscious of all of your thoughts and your feelings. That there's nothing in your unconscious mind that is driving you or influencing you. He also didn't know the difference between subconscious and unconscious, and of course that bothered me as well. And here's what I did wrong. Listen, I was in the wrong. What I did wrong was, first off, I went on somebody else's channel to, tell them how they were wrong. I should know better than that. That means that I need to be talking about it, not complaining about it. And number two, I drove up and gave somebody unsolicited advice. Because I did. I said, hey, if you want to do this, you should do this, this, this. And of course, he responded back and wanted to get into, a passive aggressive, I'm love and light, but being really condescending and wanted to tell me how he was right and I was wrong. And, I didn't even respond. I just said, you know what, you're right. Don't let anybody talk you out of your experience. Thanks for sharing your wisdom, because this is just a waste of time. He didn't ask for my help. And that's, teaching only works when somebody asks. That's why I always have you ask. If you don't ask, then you're not open to hearing. It doesn't matter if I'm right. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is if you want my help. And if you want my help, it's because I've earned it. And if I haven't earned it, I have no business going up and telling you anything. It doesn't matter that I think I'm a master or whatever. And this guy hadn't asked for my help. I went onto his channel and started trolling him, and but he said something that, as I said, that was very telling, and it struck me because it's important that we understand the whole point of this spiritual path. Everything that I teach you, whether it has to do with energy work or shamanic dreaming, shamanic traveling, whether it has to do with runes, whether it has to do with magic, is for one reason only, is so that you can become conscious. And I've been on this path for a while, and I've been down a few streets in this neighborhood, and some of them are a dead end. Astral travel is a dead end. There's nothing at the end of that street. There is, and here's the thing, what I got from this guy's response is that he wanted to defend that he was talking about astral travel and that blah, blah, blah. And I tried to say to him, hey, listen, don't discount lucid dreaming. But obviously, because he doesn't know what lucid dreaming is, he, I think, has made this value judgment, but that astral travel is better than lucid dreaming. So if somebody says, no, you're talking about lucid dreaming, he wants to defend it. And he's not going, really tell me why that is. He's not really interested in knowing the difference. He wants to defend his position. Because he's probably got, an ego attachment to the idea of astral travel. He probably thinks that what he's doing every night when he's astral traveling, that he's doing something of real spiritual value. I don't know, I'm guessing. But that's what bothers me about it. Because astral traveling is a dead end. It's not going to make you any more aware of anything. It's not going to give you consciousness. Lucid dreaming, on the other hand, is also a dead end, but it's a longer street. And see, here's the thing. People think lucid dreaming, well, dreaming, that's all in your own mind, and I don't want to do that. I want to astral travel, man. But there's far more to be learned in lucid dreaming than there is in astral traveling. Why do I say that? Because everything that you need to know is hidden in your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind is within you. Now, what this guy may not realize, and a lot of us don't realize when we think on two-dimensional terms, is that the inner world is far more infinite than the outer world. And if you go deep enough into your own unconscious, you will reach infinity. But before you get there, you're going to have to go through all of your limited, unconscious, unresolved, past life, present life nonsense. But there, if you go into it with the desire to learn about your own unconscious mind, your own unconscious programs that are driving you in life, then you're on the right track. Communicate with all of the beings in your unconscious, because they're all you. And you will learn where you are and what's going on with you, and you will become aware. Why is that important? When you leave your body, where you go after you leave your body depends entirely on the amount of conscious awareness you have, the awareness of your own unconsciousness. If you have worked through your unconsciousness, through all of your issues, then when you leave this body, there will be only one place to go, that infinite light. Have you ever wondered why it is that people who are so into the whole, beings of light stealing your soul thing, and they tell you don't go into the light? You want to know why that's so big for them? Because people who are afraid, who live in fear, have a lot of unresolved unconscious issues. And what they're really afraid of is looking at their own unconscious issues. And Tibetan Buddhism, I shared this, Tibetan Buddhism, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, teaches that at death, everybody, in the first moments of death, everybody has the option to go into the light and become infinite. But that most of us become frightened. And when we become frightened, our fears will take us to some other destination, what they call a bardo, some other bardo. And then it goes through, you got to do this and you got to do that and you got to chant this. And, somebody gave it to me and said, you got to read this and we're going to do this and chant all this stuff. And I said, this doesn't mean anything. You don't need to worry about that. The only thing you need to worry about is to live fearlessly, go after what you want, and you will go through all those bardos, all of those unconscious dead ends in your mind, in your conscious waking awareness. That's why I'm constantly bringing people back to their conscious awareness. Because this, let me remind you again, this life that we live in this physical body is itself an astral trip. This is a virtual reality vehicle for the soul. The brain is the controller. It helps you interface. It helps the infinite soul interface in three-dimensional space-time. And this body is the vehicle that we drive around in. This is the trip. People trying to escape this trip to go into another trip. You see the craziness of it? People who do it for entertainment, who want to go on astral travel trips for entertainment or to escape. These are ways to avoid the challenges and the fears of your own unconscious. So the ironic thing is that when people want to leave their body to experience true reality, the ironic thing is that if you're doing it for reasons of escape or for entertainment, you are only going to end up in your unconscious. Just because you think you're in conscious reality, you haven't accomplished anything. So let me go back between the two. Astral travel, in my definition, is when you do actually leave your physical body and you travel to a real place in physical space-time. That, to me, is astral travel. Lucid dreaming, on the other hand, is when you wake up inside of a dream state, and your dream state is as real as so-called real life. That is lucid dreaming. Bear in mind, lucid dreaming, in your unconscious mind, you can go to the Alps in your unconscious mind. You can go to the moon. You can go to Jupiter. You can go to all the real places in your unconscious mind. And you won't be able to tell the difference between being there, because it's going to be just as real as this world. All the worlds are real, all of them. If you wake up in them, all of them are real. The underworld, we talk about when souls die that haven't achieved awareness, they go to the underworld. The underworld is a very real place. Just because it's in your unconscious mind doesn't mean it's not real. It's a very real place. It's as real as this one. And you can have a hell of a lot of fun in your unconscious mind, and you can experience a lot of horror and terror in your unconscious mind. But just because you feel yourself roll out of your body and you're in your room, you don't know if it's your real room or if it's a facsimile of your room in your own unconscious. You don't know. But to get to the point, which one is more powerful? Lucid dreaming is more powerful when it comes to magic. Why is that? Because if you haven't done, do some research on lucid dreaming, because there's some value to this practice. Again, I don't do it now because, like I said, it's ultimately a dead end. But what Taoist practitioners, these are the shamans of China, what they found is that when you wake up in a dream, you teach yourself to do things that you want to do here. Like if you want to learn how to transport yourself, like walk through walls, you do it in lucid dreaming. If you want to learn how to levitate, you do it in lucid dreaming. If you want to learn how to be a master martial artist, or if you want to be a master swordsman, or whatever it is that you want to achieve, do it in lucid dreaming. If you want to learn how to jump over buildings like Superman, do it in lucid dreaming. Because what they found out is that this life, this three-dimensional life, is a dream. It's a dream of the soul. And so when you can go into lucid dreaming and jump over walls or fly or whatever, what ends up and you really believe that, eventually what happens is it spills over into this dream, and you can do it in the real world. And there were some things that I did that I would go and practice in lucid dreaming, and made me able to do things from a martial arts standpoint that aren't physically possible. And I won't get into that because, like I said, it's a dead end. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. Ultimately, it's just there for one reason, to help you realize, oh my God, this whole thing is a dream. That's why it is so important. This is why I come down so hard on the victims who want to escape. Because you don't realize that this dream that you're in right now, that you think is a hell, is something that you can change. You can break the laws of the hell that you're in. And if you can do it in waking life, guess what's going to happen? When you leave your body, you'll be able to do it there. If you can't do it here, you won't be able to do it there. If you can't get through this life and overcome your challenges, if you cannot overcome your fears, your pain, your misery, your anger, your resentments, your self-hatred, your judgment of others, if you cannot work through them, not deny them, that's something else. If you can't work through them in this life and gain mastery over them, guess what's going to happen? You will still have those problems when you leave. If you find the exit to the matrix at the North Pole, you will simply take all of your limitations with you. This dream that we're having now, this astral travel that we are having now, is the most important focus. And your job is to become aware. This is what mantra is all about. This is why I teach mantra go up here to astrology.thunderwizard.com. I give you a specific mantra based on your chart because that is what will make you. I was just talking with somebody today. I won't get into the specifics, but this person was saying, I didn't realize what I was doing until I did mantra. And then I saw, oh my God, look at what I'm doing to myself. Mantra goes in there and makes the unconscious conscious. Whatever path that you choose, that's what's most important. Because what I'm trying to do, as I sit here talking to you, what I'm realizing is, not only am I seeking to give you techniques to help you live in this life and enjoy it the most, I am also giving you tools so that when you leave your body, you will be able to experience the truth. You will have all of the knowledge and awareness to go into that light and merge with infinity, if that's what you want to do. Because everybody who dies, I don't care who they are, I don't care if it's Jeffrey Dahmer or Dalai Lama. When they die, that moment of death, everybody has the option to go into the light and merge with infinity and become enlightened. But your unconscious whatever is what's going to stop you. And then you'll end up back into some other dream world or bardo. I'm learning a lot about that now. I'm actually in my travels. I am learning a lot that there are places that people go when they die and they take on, it's like a dream. They go into a dream. They forget who they were when they were in the physical body, and they go into a dream because they're not ready to remember. They're not ready to deal with their life yet. So that's all. I just wanted to babble on about that, as I said. So again, go to courses.thunderwizard.com if you want to find my books, if you want to find my videos, if you want to find all of my services, astrology, rune readings, whatever it is. Go to neo.thunderwizard.com if you want the 4 basic, most important tools to get the most out of my path and get the most out of life, in my opinion. Talk to you soon.